Hey, good morning. Hello, hello. Um, it's Friday morning. Is it the 5th? The 5th. Oh, hello. So I wanted to tell you a little story this morning. Um, I had I often get to talk to alcoholics at various stages of their recovery, and I had one fella call me last night who I had talked to before a couple of weeks ago when he called, and he was really inebriated, and I don't usually talk to inebriated drunks for very long, but he was entertaining, and we were having some laughs, and so I chatted with him at that time. And the next day he texted me and said he was too sick to call me and that he would call me another time. And so he called last night, and he said, I don't know what to do. I talked to you a week ago, and I felt I was sick for 2 or 3 days. He said that the hangovers are worse and worse, and they're lasting longer, and it's not just physical, it's the mental anguish. And he said, then, a few days go by, and I start to feel better. And he said, now I'm at that day where I'm going to drink again. And that's like the classic story of the alcoholic. And I said, so what happens when you drink? He said, well, that's the problem. I can tell you that right now, I feel like I'll just have a couple. But I know that history tells him that he can't drink a couple. And that's the classic dilemma of the alcoholic. His ego mind says you can have a couple. You deserve a couple. You haven't had any in a week, and you deserve it. And so he was calling me, and I said, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to quit drinking? And he said, well, yes, I do, but I don't think I can. I don't think it's possible. So we started to talk a little bit about the program, the 12-step program, and all of a sudden, you could almost feel the wall come up. And this is so typical, and we were, making a little headway, and all of a sudden it just came up, and he said, yeah, but I'm different. He said, I know you're going to laugh when I say that, but he actually said it. Yeah, but I'm different. and that's so classic alcoholic. Every alkie in the world thinks they're different. And in the 12-step solution, we have one solution for everybody because it works. It works for millions. It doesn't mean that hundreds of millions haven't fallen off into oblivion and died from the disease, because they have. But still millions have been saved. And prior to Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob getting together in 1935, there was no solution. They put the alcoholic in an asylum, or went to jail, or he just wound it down until he died, and there was no solution. So the 12 steps became the solution, and really every solution that there is right now is somehow, maybe not every solution, but every one that I know about is somehow based on the 12 steps. And I've been around this 12-step world for coming up 40 years. Actually a little longer than that, when you take the year or so that my brother 12-stepped me. And it took him a while because I was different. Anyway, so my alcoholic friend on the phone and I parted company. He went away, kind of pissed off, and But the interesting thing about working with alcoholics is that if they're lucky and they survive, drinking will drive them back. It doesn't get better without, in our format, total abstinence. If the alcoholic could drink a couple of drinks, and we wouldn't consider him an alcoholic. I mean, that's not entirely true. A few times in my drinking career when I drank, I did drink a couple, just to prove that I wasn't, I wasn't the real thing. But anyway, so he'll come back, and I don't mean to be cavalier about that. I wish that, he could have stayed, and I wish that all the time with so many who, drift away from the pack. We tell them when they come in to stay in the middle of the pack and stick with us and begin this spiritual way of living with earnest, with desperation even, and because it's breaking out of the mindset that the alcoholic has, which is, symptomized by self-pity and fear, and anger, guilt and shame. It's breaking out of those. That mindset is a chore, and requires a lot of dedication and commitment. And it says in our book, we talk about, it says half measures avail us nothing. Nothing. It doesn't say half measures got us half results. It says half measures avail us nothing, So it's a tough road for the alcoholic and the addict. They really do have to commit to get recovery. And it's there for us. Are we June the 5th? We are. So, hi everyone, Kathy, Kim, Trevor, and everyone else is joining us this morning. I'm reading from a little book called the 24-Hour Day Book. I've been doing this for, I started the 1st of May. It's been fun, and what a beautiful day. I'm in the backyard, and you can see behind me I have a garden. Trevor and I planted this garden, and it's they're coming up. We got it in before the big rain about 10 days ago. Is that about 10 days now, you think? And so they're coming up, and it's fun, and we're hoping that the prayer flags keep the deer away. It makes I'll just show you. It's kind of a raised garden, and the deer would have to jump up to get in there, and we're hoping that the prayer flags are a deterrent. And if they're not, they're still putting out lots of prayers. They're prayer flags. We need lots of prayer flags around the world right now. Because I was reading, just a quick note, that Martin Luther King had actually in his speech, one of his speeches, said that we cannot, that only love will heal, that hate does not heal hate. And when he was trying to inspire his community, his movement to operate with love and to move with love, and that's still, I believe, the foundation of any change that's lasting will have to be in love, have to be in faith, and have to be with some relationship with the universal intelligence that holds this all together, that we're in. We are love, and so we build. It's the building block. Love is the building block of everything that we create, that holds, that has depth, love, and that's why this 12-step program has done so well in the short 80 years or so that it's been around. Millions and millions of people have recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. Here we go. June the 4th, thought for the day. We alcoholics, it says, are fortunate to be living in a day and age when there is such a thing as Alcoholics Anonymous. This was written in 1954, by the way. Before AA came into being, I didn't know this was going to, before AA came into being, there was a very little hope for the alcoholic. AA is a great rebuilder of human wreckage. It takes a man or a woman whose personality problem expresses itself in alcoholism and offers them a program which, if they're willing to accept it, allows them not only to get sober, but to find a much better way of living. Have I found a better way of living? Isn't that amazing that I had not read this reading, and that's what I've just been talking about. That's so cool. Okay, that was the thought for the day, and the meditation for the day. Very quietly, God speaks through your thoughts and feelings. Heed the divine voice of your conscience. Listen for this, and you will never be disappointed in the results in your life. Listen for this small, still voice, and your tired nerves will become rested. The divine voice comes to you as well as restfulness. The divine voice comes to you as strength. As strength as well as tenderness, as power as well as restfulness. Man's moral strength derives its effectiveness from the power that comes when we listen patiently for the still, small voice. Beautiful. Hi, Ash. Welcome, buddy. That's the meditation today. I'm going to read that again because I think it was really beautiful. Quietly. Muji's teacher, Papaji, said his thing was be quiet. Just be quiet. So very quietly, God speaks through your thoughts and feelings. Heed the divine voice of your conscience. Listen for this, and you will never be disappointed in the results in your life. Listen for this small, still voice, and your tired nerves will become rested. The divine voice comes to you as strength, as well as tenderness, as power, as well as restfulness. Man's moral strength derives its effectiveness from the power that comes when we listen patiently for the still, small voice. Man's moral strength derives its effectiveness from the power that comes when we listen patiently for the still, small voice. Quietly listening. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may listen for the still, small voice of God. I pray that I may obey the reading or the leading of my conscience. I pray that I may listen for the still, small voice of God. And I pray that I may obey the leading of my conscience. Beautiful. Beautiful reading today. Okay, you guys. So remember, I have deputized you all as ambassadors of love. It's our job is to go into the world and bring love, and compassion, and understanding, and the possibility for you and everyone else is a life that's happy, joyous, and free. Happy, joyous, and free. That's it. Okay, love you lots. A beautiful day. We are so blessed. Beautiful, beautiful day. Okay, cheers. Love you. Bye. Oh, YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. We're really poking around with that and trying to get it to grow. It's at Bali and Beyond. Thanks. My little pitch.